What's going on? My name is Lindsay, and the channel is ASMR Specs, and tonight, we're gonna recap the AFC and the NFC championship. We have two teams. We're down to two teams in the Super Bowl, and it's the Chiefs and the 49ers. Those aren't the teams that I would like to see in the Super Bowl, but I don't get paid enough to script it out like the people in the NFL do. So here we are. I'm going to go over a few stats. I will be honest that I did not necessarily watch the Chiefs or the Ravens game, but I did watch the Lions and the 49ers game. I didn't watch the Chiefs game. I didn't do anything for me. I figured the Chiefs were gonna win. I know in my video I picked the Ravens, but just like a guttural feeling was the Chiefs were gonna win. Like the NFL's not gonna let the Chiefs not win, especially since this is the first time Patrick Mahomes was on the road in his playoff career. So there you go on that one. And of course, who wouldn't want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl? Though I know that she's in Tokyo the night before, so I don't know if she'll get there. Maybe the NFL will hire a private jet and she'll be out in Vegas, a little bit jet lagged. We'll see. Let's see here. So it was the Chiefs and the Ravens. We'll start with Patrick Mahomes. He went 30 for 39, 241 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. Isaiah Pacheco, who was my fantasy stud this year. He helped me win games that I thought I was gonna lose. So he had 24 carries for 68 yards and one single touchdown. The leading receiver was none other than, what does Jason Kelce call Travis Big Yeti? I don't know if he does, but Travis Kelce had 11 receptions for 116 yards and one touchdown. I think he ended up becoming like the leading receiver in playoff history. I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Yeah, I think. I mean, they won 17-10. Everybody kind of knew it was going to be close. Lamar Jackson went 20 of 37 for 272 yards, one touchdown, one interception. He was sacked 4 times for a total loss of 17 yards. He was also their leading rusher, which I do have to say, his pass that deflected up and he caught and he ran for I don't know, was it 15 or 20 yards, was awesome. That was great. That was pretty much a highlight. I remember I saw that part of the game, and then I turned the game on in the fourth quarter, and the Ravens were driving down the field, and I think there was 7 minutes left, and Lamar threw an interception, and that's when I turned the game off. And I was like, well, this game's done. Lamar Jackson had 8 carries for 54 yards. The leading receiver was Zay Flowers. He had 5 receptions for 115 yards and 1 touchdown. I think he probably should have had 2. I think he was the one that fumbled at the goal line. I mean, this game should have been completely different. I think the Ravens lost it themselves. It wasn't that the Chiefs were better. I think that the Ravens just didn't play their game. They didn't play their game at all. So, it sucks, but the Chiefs won. So that was that on that. The we will start with the Lions. Jared Goff went 25 of 41 for 273 yards and 1 touchdown. He was sacked twice for a total loss of 13 yards. And David Montgomery, there was 3, so I'm going to read off the 3 rushers, but David Montgomery was the leading rusher with 15 carries, 93 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jamar Gibbs also had 12 carries for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. And Jameis Williams, roll damn tide, had 1 carry for 42 yards and a touchdown. Now I did see that one, and it was a cool little end around, and he came and he kind of squeaked through. It was great. I definitely think the Lions deserved to win that game, but there was a little bit of a blunder probably in the fourth quarter that I think will maybe the third and fourth quarter, it might have just been in the third quarter, that might bite Dan Campbell in the butt. But I don't think anybody's really going to give him any grief. He took the Lions to the NFC Championship. 2 years ago they were 3-13, so nobody is going to look at this as like a lost season. It's going to look like the Lions are on their way up, but it kind of sucks because I think everybody that was watching, or anybody that's a football fan, would have loved to see the Lions go to the Super Bowl. I think that's just a fan base that deserves some things, right? Their leading receiver and also a fantasy stud for me was Sam Laporta. He had 9 receptions for 97 yards. Ron St. Brown had 7 receptions for 87 yards, and Jameis Williams had 2 receptions for 25 yards and a touchdown, and that was the late touchdown. Jamar Gibbs did have a fumble and he lost, so that didn't help. And then let's go to the 49ers. Sorry, I'm reading it off my phone. Brock Purdy went 20 of 31 for 267 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. I think my favorite play was when he threw it and it bounced off the Lions face mask, and Brandon Ayuk, they needed a touchdown in that moment. I think it was like towards the end of the third. And the Lions had just gone for like on 4th down, where again, I think they probably should have taken a field goal, take the points, you're in the lead. Make the 49ers work for it. But again, what do I know? I don't get paid the big dollars. Sorry, I hate the tripod. So there's that. So Brock Purdy went 20 of 31, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked twice for a total of 9 yards lost. Christian McCaffrey had himself a day like he always does. He carried the ball 20 times for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Elijah Mitchell also scored a touchdown. Brock Purdy was fast on his feet. He had 5 carries for 48 yards, almost more than Lamar Jackson. Deebo Samuel came back from injury. He was injured in the Packer game, but powered through with 8 receptions and 89 yards. And then Brandon Ayuk had 3 receptions, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. I think Kyle Juszczyk had a few big plays, a couple, and George Kittle was a little quiet. He had 2 receptions for 27 yards. That game was great, right? It even came down to like the last of it, right? I think if Dan Campbell could go back, he would go back and take those 2 field goals, at least try for them instead of going for it. I'm not an analytics person. years ago, you're the laughing stock of the entire NFL, and now you are in the NFC Championship, and everybody's scared of you. I think the players play for Dan Campbell because he is a motivator, and that is awesome. I just think when you look back on it, there's a few things that he probably would do different, and maybe the outcome is different. I think the 49ers are a great team. I think they're beatable. I think the Super Bowl is going to be pretty close. I will make a prediction video probably next weekend. But they just did enough to win. They came back from the second half just like they did in the Packer game, and they're like, hold on, we got this. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Vegas. I'm not excited for the teams in the Super Bowl, but I am excited for the Super Bowl. I did suggest to my friends that we do an anti-Super Bowl and we just watch all the old Super Bowls instead of this one, but I don't know, instead of having a Super Bowl party. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my recap on the AFC NFC Championship. If you guys like it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's grow this channel. Let's make it awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Sleep well. And let me know who your favorite teams are, or who you think's gonna win the Super Bowl, or were you shocked by the outcomes? Lots of questions. Leave a comment down below. Until next time.